Still plenty of time to come and be served at the refreshment center before showtime.
Popcorn, rich with hot melted butter. Steaming hot coffee. Your favorite cigarettes.
Hello everybody, welcome back. We are live, Pauperganda, coming to you with Goblins today. I'm going to try to make this one a little bit faster than normal while we're waiting for an opponent. Chime in and let me know if you hear and see everything okay. Try to adjust the lighting a little bit. It looked like I was in a little dark cloud the last time we did this stuff. Double check in here. Good. Doink. Let's go like this. Boink. And anyway, we'll go through the deck list here real quick just to share what we're going to be piloting today. In our sideboard, well, first of all, we'll start. I've got 18 basics. Don't like to, a lot of people use the Teetering Peaks. I don't think it's worth the payoff just for a little shock damage to kind of draw dead early on. You're really going to try to come out swinging. I run a full complement of Sledders and Raiders. I run a full complement of Goblins and Cohorts. Our Pauperganda video on this discusses consistency being one of the best parts of this deck. The ever famous Goblin Bushwhacker, which is probably the card most responsible for killing the most people in Pauper anyway. I run all 4 Foundry Street Denizens. Reason being, it's probably the best first turn play. I see some lists running 3, even less, and I don't really understand the reasoning. And I run 3 Death Sparks. I'm almost tempted to run 4. Unless Delver is completely gone, this card just finds ways to win. And it's probably the hardest card in Goblins to play optimally. You never want to bury it. And what I mean by that is you play your Death Spark and then right on top of it you drop a Lightning Bolt or some dumb play like that. Happens, but the less it happens, the more you win. Best to drop probably in red ever. And we usually run 4 Sparksmiths, but I'm running 3 because I got some nice black bordered Goblin Matrons and I'm enjoying drawing these. I ran 3 for a little bit, ended up not really being on that route. And then we have our Heel Cutter, which is one of the MVPs of the deck. Very tempted to run 2, but with access to Matron, we're able to kind of weed some stuff out and get a little more flexible. Against the dreaded Drake deck, we have Lightning Bolt and Pyroblast. This is probably my favorite card versus Caligula style decks, which are just my way of saying kill everything, Edict, Evankar's Justice. And even in multiples, these just get absurd, and Gurmag Anglers can't even attack into a bunch of goblins because you end up trading 1 for 1 anyway. Along those same lines, it's fun to drop some life with regards to this. This is our, I prefer this over Electrickery in this just because it can hit. It's a little bit organic and it clears out hexproof. And we follow things up with Gorilla Shaman. And good grief, we are just waiting forever for our person to show up. How's everything sounding out there, guys? I'm not hearing any feedback. Just want to make sure the picture and sound's coming through okay. It looks good on my end, but never hurts to ask. Yeah, looks like it. So if we look at the meta game here, is it Drake, Delver, and Stompy? Stompy can actually be a little bit rough of a bit tough of a matchup, and I'll explain with. All right, thanks for that, though. I'll explain our stat sheet here. This is kind of a carryover. There's been some changes here and there. You might see some cards mentioned that aren't quite there, but we got pretty solid win percentage against just about everything. Stompy is a lot closer than this looks, and hexproof can be an issue too. But other than that, we usually have a pretty good setup. Anyway, so we're still waiting on our first round here. Gonna be going here, and let's see. Boy, when is our opponent gonna show up? Here we go. Boy, not many people looking to play Pauper today. I should have launched this before we had our stuff out. Let me see. Well, regardless, next week, tomorrow, we're probably going to be playing the ever so famous Simic Advanced deck, which I've aptly named Flash Gordon because I put a lot more flash creatures in it, and I'll discuss the while we're waiting on our opponents. Jeez, oh Pizzo, when are these people going to show? All right, well, we'll discuss this a little bit tomorrow too, but I made some changes to this in the last few days, and I'm really liking the changes, mainly running 3 Pulsamarasas main, and I actually got rid of the cloak that we mentioned in Pauperganda episode 2 just because it's just one of those, every time I drew it I didn't really enjoy seeing it. It was kind of a aha card that I held on to forever and ever and ever. Just a minute. Everything okay?
I'm looking for his ball, so just...
Oh, okay. I think it's outside. Sorry about that. We have Curfew is always a really good card to pull up in this deck as it resets everything, and we discussed that earlier. But and I moved two Recluse main for the Delver matchup, and here we go. Finally, no love today. Where is everybody? Shirazaman. I'm surprised he's not with us. Our first opponent. We always want to go first with Goblins, and this is a really optimal draw. I mean, we've got 2 mountains. We've got our favorite 1 drop. I prefer dropping this because it has the potential to hit for 3 or 4 on turn 2, as opposed to the cohorts and the conscripts, which only can hit for 2. So we're all set. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Fired up. Hopefully today doesn't go as long as some of the other long drawn out decks go, but you never know. Goblins can actually play pretty long-winded if you play with the Sylvok Life Staff as I do, and sometimes it can get that way. I'm not seeing anybody but Littlefit here, so in the chat room, so it says we got some extra people. That's cool. Let's go like this. We're just going to come out for the races. And away we go. Already there's just a big problem. We've got a sitting Fire Blast plus on the board. Drop a mountain and respond to both of them. It happens again next turn. Optimally, maybe a mountain followed by a Bushwhacker, and this one will be over really fast. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, usually I see people in the chat, but like I said, there's must be some little technical issue going on here. Now, we want this to stick. We don't really care about the other one. And I'm going to play the artwork that I care least for first. Always a good plan. I think the other artwork's much better. And I'm not too worried about Electricity this first turn, so until we see a creature, I'm not going to drop the Sledder because that's our MVP. This one's getting pretty lopsided. He's probably going to toast the Foundry Street. This might be a Drake deck. And here comes a double Fire Blast. And this one might be over as soon as next turn if we draw right. This is a very formidable board unless you're just playing like my RG Tempo deck where you have just a plethora of removal and red damage spells. There's probably a Seagate, I'm guessing. Nope. Oh, so at least we know what we're playing against now. That's a good thing to know. Yeah, it's funny. We might actually lose this one. Let me set up shop here. Does he have to block 2, 4, 6, 8, 10? with the 11. He does. So we're gonna go all in here. Now you might even a mutagenic growth right now doesn't save him, because the life would be the issue here, and that's why we wanted to play this now. Just curious, just threw up a link. We're letting people know we are up. Cool. DMG boss, good to see ya. I guess I only see them when they chat, so say hello in chat and I'll give you a shout out. Little Fight's here to digitally hold my hand as usual. Thank goodness. Sure does help. And like I said, tomorrow we're probably going to be broadcasting our Simic Deck Tech, our version of it, one that I'm running. Goblins go Lord. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Sack for 11. Got it. Come on. What's he doing? What's he doing? Jeez, these are supposed to be 2 fast decks, and this guy's like moving at a glacial speed. Now, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Can't do it. So I'm tempted to blow this thing up. This is where it gets rough. I have to sacrifice 3 things, but boy, I'm going to do it just because you've all seen it. One Apostle's Blessing or just about anything, and they can just go Nova. So I've got to kill this turn. Very rare that they have any sort of haste tech. So going to click very slowly with the slider. This is our target. We are going to, we could potentially draw a War Marshal, so this is more valued. I'm going to sacrifice this one. I hate this play, but I would really feel like a jackass if I get him down to 2 and then I just die next turn, which is a very common thing to happen on this deck. So, and we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to hope for the best. Okay. Feeling safe. We got to play. We shall see what happens. These are a very misunderstood card, and I hate the artwork on this one. The Raider's so much better, but it's very important to not underestimate those. Really focus on it and be very careful when you click on it, because it's about as bad as Carrion Feeder when you misclick on those things. These cards, if you have 10 creatures and they have 9, you win. It's a ability to kind of go all in and do it a turn at a time. I mean, a phase at a time, but it's some beautiful math and a lot of wins out of the blue when you look at it closely and analyze what you're going for. It's funny, on our stat sheet we look at the UR Fiend matchup. Where is it? And it's very close. I say need help with this matchup. Sparksmith and Raise. We're not running Raise in this version, but this is a good sign. He's probably looking for just one burn spell to kill a threat. Maybe he does have a haste spell and he's setting up some alpha strike, but there's a lot of things we can draw that are going to end this really soon, and if anything we're just going to go get Matron. Okay, so we played it safe. It paid off. We still get the W. That's all that matters. So I'm going to bring in now our Sparksmiths are great. Most of these lists do run the oh boy, they're barely even here anymore. We bring up a standard list, they do run Electrickeries, so we've got to be a little bit careful for that. Come back in here, but we also want to be the aggressor. I'm going to take out 1 Spark just because Delver's really our only hitter there, and we've got quite a bit of other stuff. Plus, we're going to be bringing in Fire Blast, so I'm going to bring in that. I'm going to, let's see, we're going to lose the Arsonist. Same sort of reasoning. I'm going to bring in what we want first of all. We're going to bring in all the Pyroblasts. Sledders are great. Those are great. Those are great. Those are great. This is one of the few matchups I'm going to take out 1 or 2 Foundry Streets. There's just so much other stuff that warrants defensive Electrickery, and I'm tempted to bring in both of these, but I still want to be a bit of the aggressor here. So and I want to be doing a lot with my turn, there's not much to fetch, so I'm going to go with 1 matron there. So this looks good. In the past, I've often brought in Silvok Lifestaff, and it just slowly, if they have it, they have it. This is kind of an aggro game. We only bring in the caves to really prevent those pecking orders of combinations of Electrickery and the Kiln Fiend going in. So Martyr of Ashes might be a good call here, but again, that would imply that we're holding onto our hand and not really playing much out, which in reality we don't do that. We get blockers up and out of there. So let's go like that. I like having 1 Arsonist now. I used to run up to 3, but the again, the ability of being able to fetch is really paramount. And we'll close this out. LP Blanks, good to see ya. Yeah, we're trying to give it some love. We've done it in the past, and we're trying to showcase a lot of new decks, which we've done in the past. But as the meta shifts, we make little tweaks. So this is a little bit different than our YouTube video. So go check that out. Maybe Little Fight can find the link for that and throw it up. We're gonna keep this hand. Might be a little chancy, but we got some good stuff going. Yes. Got Arts and Fist Fights. Welcome aboard. So yeah, we did a really in-depth 5-round YouTube video, real polished, and it's 90% of this deck. Like I said, little changes that was made before the era of Drake. And I'm not too, I might catch some hate for saying this, but I'm not too impressed with Drake. It's very solid, but I definitely don't think it's broken. And quite the what should I say? We don't have Electrickery defense now, so I'm actually going to lead with Conscripts because it can block Fiend and kill it, and we're not going to get 2 for 1. But the Drake deck, I think it keeps the format kind of honest. I've never seen as much flexibility and like randomness in matchups. And people are very fond of saying, oh, you know, it's the same 10 decks or same 5 decks, and it's like, I don't know, man. It might be the same 20 decks. There's quite a bit of variety out there, and if we've shown anything in the last few weeks, like playing everything from white Infect to green Land Destruction, you can at least break even, and so that's a pretty damn healthy format. I'd counter I'd be surprised if anybody would argue otherwise, especially with regards to other formats. I'm gonna drop the Denizen. Getting a little nervous here. I'd like to see a Lightning Bolt in the land, and then we'd be a lot cleaner. And yeah, there's the Goblin video link for anybody that wants to save that, bookmark it for later, or if you've had about 8 cups of coffee, maybe you can do both. But yeah, I'm fine playing that deck as is too. Come on. Oh, not what we wanted to see. I'm kind of hoping that he drops the he's probably sitting on you know what math. We're just gonna have to put a blocker out there and hope he blocks. A lot of times people will make the mistake right here. It's like they sit back because they're afraid stuff will get nuked, and it might, but it's not what you have to worry about. What you have to worry about is the Apostle's Blessing and X number of tricks on that. So we're still gonna stay aggressive. He might have this one. I like his board stayed a lot more than ours at this point. And we kept a 1 land. I do run 18, which is a tad high on the basics, but it's to prevent stuff like this. But as you can see, it doesn't always prevent it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, chime in with some chat, guys. That way I can glance over, see your name, give you a shout out. Like I said, our goal today is to try to keep this broadcast come under 2 hours as opposed to over, but we've got a lot of fun little videos at the top of the show, doing some more artsy fartsy stuff with mana pulses and stuff. We just did one on YouTube. It turned out pretty good. And when I do have to use a bathroom break, we got little commercials and fun Pauper related stuff all strung out for you, so hopefully you can check that out. Oh, I don't know about this play. He's slow rolling me. This is when the little double alpha strike comes down. Oh, come on. All right, same plan as before. Let's do it some more. Yeah, I might want to keep 2 back. Yeah, and then the odds that there's a echoing trick, you gotta keep in mind. tricks like that too. David Kane 001, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us today. Slowly getting the word out there. A little Pauper love. I guess it's kind of a rare thing. Little Fight and I are both kind of new to Twitch, so let us know what we can do better or worse. Maybe we're doing too good. Fat chance. Yep. That'll teach me to block. He's probably got another one too, and so 2 more damage. I think this one's over. And maybe rightfully so, keeping 1 land. I like keeping 1 land after you've mulliganed once because of that new mulligan rule. It's a real big benefit, but I think if he has even an average hand here, we're dead. Dead meat. Lord of Ducks. Cool name. Turkish Yamaman. However you say that. Yeah, this is over. Unless he's got 3 lands. Good night. I saw a red deck running that new spell that gives a creature +1, and then when it dies, it turns into a 3/2 Eldrazi. That's pretty interesting. That was well, other than him F6ing through his attack phase, this one's over, folks. So it's off to the 3rd game. Hey, again, we covered this last week. I don't understand these plays. I think the extra dead plays. This one would be so fun to just have some secret tech and be like, oh, good job blowing your hand up there. All right. You know, I have a hunch that he took out... No, who would do that? I'm thinking he might have taken out 1 or 2 Cyclopses in preparation for the Pyroblasts. I doubt that's right. And you know what? I wasn't too happy to see Foundry Street. I'm gonna take out the Foundry Streets. I'm gonna run the Ashes, just because in that matchup that would have kind of made a difference. And we'll see. Still a little susceptible to electricity if our little tech doesn't show up. Gosh, I hate this little pop-up. It's like, stay where I put you. Yes, I would like to go first. And yes, I would like to try to win. Ugh. So I got kind of the opposite problem now. I don't like this. I mean, I've got an answer in a late game, and we're not being very aggressive there. So this is a really on the border, but I'm going to mulligan it. Like this hand a lot more. Anyone out there in the ether does know how to make Magic always come up with the exact same layout, please let me know, because sometimes it seems like the cookies remember it and other times it doesn't. We're going to keep this hand. Got some nice defense. Do not want to see that because we need some mana. But now we know it's very far away and there's almost no shuffling effects outside of the matron, so got to keep that in mind not to play to that. But we've got an army of 2s and a booster, so electricity doesn't really hurt us too much here. Turkish Hayaman, Sledders are better than the Denizen in your opinion? And I always hate to say this, depends on the matchup. If I'm going against control, then I definitely prefer the Denizen just because of the sheer brute force. Sledders and the Raiders are definitely more flexible. They're in a pinch. I mean, there's just so many combat tricks you can do with them. Coming out aggro. And I mean, I can trip this for 2 if 2 Killing Fiends come out, pop this, and maybe save one of these guys. There's just so many options with them. And with Death Spark and Goblin Arsonist, and it just goes on and on. When you play Goblins with the full access to that, there's these little moments. Boy, is this going to happen again? There's these little moments that happen where you're just like, oh my gosh, that's why they run 4 of those, or that's why they run 4 more of those. With regards to Mog Raiders or cohorts, there's just so much consistency, and as Little Fight showed in the link above, we've got a full-fledged video up of Goblins at its finest and stuff. So if this is your kind of thing and you haven't seen it, go check that out. We spent a lot of time on it, and it answers a lot of questions. We like this play. Looks like he's hurting for land too. Dun, dun, dun. Hatred, welcome aboard. Man, that's a strong Magic card. I've made a few brews with that in the day. Good art too. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Let's see. Hey man, that's pretty good looking. Looks better from a distance. Gotta give that one the nod. Going the flying route. I don't know about this one, guys. Yeah, oh, sorry, I'm butchering. It's Turkish yam yam. Sorry, I'm again trying to. I'm not trying to butcher anybody's name. I'm just. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna drop the martyr just in case it doesn't. He doesn't flip. I can pop it for one and get out of death's range really quickly here. Probably won't work, but hopefully. Come on, come on, come on. What do we got? Oh no, and it's a blessing too. Well, we're on a two-turn clock. Yeah, we always jump in. This is easily the best deck we've played in a league game, but we always do this trial by fire thing. Put a little money where our mouth is sort of stuff. Actually, our best outing was 4-1 with White Infect. That was a pretty fun one. Yeah, we're dead in the water here, guys. All right, well, hold on a minute. 2, 4. Yeah, not a chance. He got us. So we're down 1, and like I said, that is one of our worst matchups. I'm dead even with it now. Need help in this matchup, and being mana screwed is not helping. So I'm gonna go right away again. Down 1-2. I'll discuss the deck in case anybody joined us a little late. That's what we're playing tomorrow. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. So we're running 2 matrons in this build. We usually run 4 Sparksmiths. Would have been nice to see them there for sure. But with regards to the matron, we're able to cut this number down to 3. I really believe in Death Spark. Easily the hardest card in Pauper to play correctly. Very, very awesome in the. Hold on, just a minute. Oh. Alexiel21, thank you for joining us on the SS metagame, our imaginary ship of Pauper, where we have the delusions of grandeur to think that we can get Pauper noticed by the mothership that is Magic. But hey, pays to dream. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? We have fun doing it though. So our biggest point, I'm not getting too repetitive here, but in that YouTube video is the ridiculous consistency Goblins has, because between this and this, you're playing like 8 cards that are all identical. And then you have the same thing with the conscripts and the cohorts. They're the same card. Jackals are a really close call. I don't run them. And we love the heel cutter. This is surprisingly really good against the angler decks. And the matron's able to fetch everything up. Easily the best 2-drop. We run 18 basics. The Teetering Peaks is great for some people, not for me. Like the match we just lost, a lot of times you draw that when you need mana now, and it comes into play tapped and you're not in a position to attack. There's a lot of scenarios where it doesn't help. And we love caves against a lot of the Caligula style decks. It's a homage to some of the really old cards. I don't remember what expansion this came from. Anybody got it out there or got Google at the ready? I don't want to bore the feed with me looking it up, but Goblin Caves is a very interesting tech. It really gets you out of a lot of Shrivel and Evan Carr's Justice sort of stuff, and yeah, it's just good times. We're running a full set of the Gorilla Shaman just because affinity is pretty easy to find, and the life staff to make games go long. Any thoughts on RDW versus Goblins? IP Blank says, yeah, I was very impressed when I have not even sleeved it up yet. As far as RDW goes, but I've lost to it with a few rogue builds here and there and beaten it a few times, but I was pretty impressed. My first initial response was big eye roll. I was like, oh, come on, why not just play Goblins if you're being serious? And it was neat to see the math work out and that haste come through, and you have to give that a go. Maybe that'll be the next one, but here we go. I got another match. Dun, dun, dun. Debuted in the dark. Thank you, Little Fight. Yes, I debuted in the dark. Ugh. Oh boy. Always face. How do these people get these names? Oh boy, we're gonna mulligan this. I can't. Much better. Keep. And we'll put that. Yeah, we'll put it on top. We want to see the matron. Yeah, 2 mana is enough. We'll get to 3. And we really like seeing that because that means our gorilla shaman can come out and play. Start chewing on some nice antiquities. I got bored. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us. What's our count up to? I can't even see. I'm always impressed if it's even more than 4 or 5 people. It's getting to be a nice little community outing. Ta-da. Again, if you got any wants, desires, decks you think we should play, head on over to pauperganda@gmail.com and throw us some love. I'd be happy to oblige. This is probably the last, I know I said this last week, and the last double cast weekend. We'll be here again tomorrow, same time, noon Pacific Standard Time, trying out yet another new deck. And we'll see what we can see. Probably just going to do, leaning towards Fridays. Kids are going back to school, that sort of thing, so I got the house quiet and be able to do some other good stuff. Got to focus here just a bit. Let's see. That's interesting. I'm going to run right in. All right. Trying to cut down the masses. Really going to be hopefully favored in game 2 with access to all the shamans, but right here, I'm just trying to get rid of his big bad fatty. Yeah, it might not be the best play, but I get a little reckless when I've got Matron in my hand, being able to go grab War Marshal. And the Sledders are good against Affinity, just for those alpha strikes when you have just the numbers and you're able to attack 5 on 4 and going for the kill. But for right now, I'm going to go like this. Get rid of the big fat man. Keep him on the defensive. That'd be the best play ever. Any order. I just don't want to get fire blasted every turn. Okay. Uh-oh. Come on over. Nope. Well, that did the trick, didn't it? 1, 2, 3. Let's drop the matron here. We're not going to attack into this one this time. I'm going to go get some cannon fodder. Sparksmith is very tempting here. We've got 3 mana. And we'll have to live. I'm going to go more for that route just so we can use our Bushwhacker and attack if we do draw strong. It's all dependent on how aggressive this guy is. He didn't attack last turn with a Frogmite, so he might be in a little bit of a defensive stance, but we've really got to fear Fling here. Sorry for the sirens. Live in a very nice neighborhood, but there's lots of old people, and sometimes they, like I said, I think 3 or 4 podcasts ago, or podcasts, what am I talking about? Casts, Twitch feeds, whatever. Oftentimes there's somebody meeting their maker of the older persuasion. Let's see. That's nice lightning bolt bait. Wish I had it. Sometimes it's good to fetch a matron to throw it in front of these guys like this, but I'm gonna try to get the Atog math going here. I'm gonna go like this. Maybe cost something. Yeah, this isn't going so well. String Peas, welcome to the show. Glad to have you aboard. We lost to Delver Fiend in a close one, and we're currently losing to Affinity. Let's check out our stat sheet and see what's going on with Affinity here. 18 and 8. Yep, Trade up, volume versus quality. Gorilla Shaman if you get. These are MVPs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, I'm glad I blocked. It's not going to matter, though. Dun, dun, dun. Look at this. Wouldn't that be funny? We end up with our worst record on Twitch with one of the best decks we've played so far, because we've been playing a lot of rogue decks and having some pretty good success with them. Mostly breaking even, some 4-1s. And now we're playing like an actual tier 1 deck, and kaboom! Alright. In comes the fun. Probably want to gonna lose all but one Death Spark. I'm almost tempted to lose all of them. Yeah, I don't even want to see it. I'm gonna lose the Arsonist. So we're at even. I would really like to. I'm actually gonna lose a Bolt. Reason being, with the 4 jobs, I'm after more of the Smith Shaman combo. I know that can't grab creatures, but the Foundry Street can be a little lackluster. It can grow big, but just wondering. I'd like to get in the Martyrs for a reset button here. Let's get rid of. I'll take out one. No, Sledders are good because of that 5-round 4 I was talking about, and we're not bringing in the caves for. We almost hope he brings in Electrickery, or she, because it's just not that big of a threat. Oh, the Arsonist, that's what's supposed to go out. Really tempted for the Life Staff. There's too many creatures, usually in affinity, for this to make much of a difference. I mean, they have 3 or 4 creatures out a lot of times, and so what? You make one unblockable. So I'm actually going to lose that. Bring in a staff. And we'll go from here. Oh, how'd that Sledder slip through? Let's see here. Get rid of a Foundry Street. Okay, here we go. No, don't want to dilute our options with Pyroblast. It's not my style. I bring in Pyroblast when it's always a good draw. Good times. Let's hope they've got that slow 3 or 4 turn. I mean, we'd like to see a Shaman here, but we've got a nice quick little man. Machi's got a heavy Electrickery draw, and we're screwed out of the gates, but we'll see. I'm going to play a little loosey-goosey with the Bushwhackers. Try to go for it pretty quickly here. And plus, sometimes you don't want to draw a Shaman early on. That's a good sign, because if we draw it now, it's very good. Let's see. I'm going to go like this. Hopefully drawing out even more tempo. He might be fearing that. Maybe he'll draw out another, not just a Galvanic Blast, but those early turns when they could be powering out artifacts and Frogmites. Sometimes they play a little too defensive, so yeah, we're going to have to swing here pretty fast to keep things on the up and up. Ooh, boy, that's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, got to do this. Then we'll go in with the goods. I'm fond of swinging and pitching this early, just because early on, I mean later in the game you always want to pay the Echo, but early on I don't, and take the damage when you can get it. He's got Electrickery here. We're going to save our 2 good guys. And again, this is a play where you almost hope they do, because that pretty much equals a 1-for-1 if you take into account the casting costs of both the Raider and Electrickery if it is played. Dun, dun, dun. Oh boy, here come the big boys. I'm gonna run for it again. Won't be attacking with that, but and it sucks that the Martyr is not a Goblin, but oh, look at this. Okay, all right. Playing with fire. Uh-oh. Might be down 0-2. Let's get another land here. This is a good option for why we do want 18 lands, not 17. This, You know, you want to be able to power out that martyr. You want to equip that life staff. You want to be able to play that creature. So oftentimes I think people shove in some cards and they take out the good stuff. And I mean, even if we draw the mana monkey right now, we really want more mana so that we can just Armageddon his board right now. So just a lesson learned there. I mean, make sure to, we're using the lesson in this scenario about, you know, 18 basics. Sometimes feel like you want 20. Of course, we've had a few hands already where we had to pitch it for the flood offset, but okay. We've got some nice tricks. I don't want to really play out too much of this. Let's see. If I go like that, he's probably gonna pull that. Options. I'm gonna go wild here. Neck 2, welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm gonna go crazy. I cannot attack with the Mog Raider. Gotta keep that option open. Sacrifice a goblin, so I can't sacrifice the martyr. But it's just a body at this stage because our hand's doesn't have any red. Thanks for joining us. Let's see, we're gonna go like this. Choose target creature. This one. We'll sacrifice this one. So we've got 5, 6, 7. I'll be at 10, and those will trade. Good times. Like that a lot better. Still got a little like trickery defense. Still be backbreaking, but boy, we really want to draw one of our 4 shamans. Especially for that guy. 3 cards in hand. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. The attacks here he might have. Nope. Really don't like that play there. If you do the math, I have to block there if he has fling because he's got the math up. Let's see. I'm going to drop the matron. It's almost always the war marshal. However, Sparksmith might be really good here. So we actually would have 4 goblins, be able to start killing stuff at will. It probably won't last. He's got 2 cards in hand. Fling's coming up. And boy, how broken would it be if the Gorilla Shaman was a goblin? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Sparky this time. They're a few turns away, but we got some blockers. We're not looking to power up Martyr of Ashes. It's a nice first turn play, and I may have to remember that. It's a nice top deck later on, but again, I think I even argued this in the first place, was you don't tend to hoard cards as a goblin player and play that out. It's mostly good against hexproof or as just a little speed bump for some of these big creatures here. Let's see, we'll go like block here, block here. Tempted to sack something, but the stage any order. And we just got goblins. What we want to see. Trying to gain some life out of the equation. We got an answer. And I do believe all we're going to do, we'll attack with him and him and go like this. And hopefully we draw a goblin. Fling, we're dead anyway, so. So where'd you guys get your names from? It's always a good topic of conversation. Anybody got some funny story how they came up with their little username? I always find that interesting. I'm going to take 8. Boy, Sparky might not have been that good of an idea. Maybe I lacked coffee this morning. Ooh, this is getting scary. Maybe he's got another one. Okay. I remember we can pitch in response, yet another reason why we really like 8 outlets for this ability, because if he did have the damage in response to that going on the stack, of course doesn't help here. Boy, Sparksmith feels pretty silly now. Neck 2, can you guess mine? I would say first thing that comes to mind is a necktie, but I know that's wrong. Oh my gosh, we're playing the best deck yet. All these outings, and we're going to go down 0-2. All right, now we're fighting to be even here. Folks, I'm going to hit play league match, and I'm going to use the restroom real quick, and I'll be right back, but I got something fun to watch, so I hope you enjoy.
It's the liquor of ages, the tonic of conquerors. Find your spark. Gin and tonic, making men into giants since 1857.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Sorry if was there no sound on that? It worked fine when I tested it out. I just got a text that there was no sound. Did nobody heard it? I didn't change anything. Sorry to cut it short there, guys. Here we go, waiting for our opponent. Oh, okay, first one had no audio. That's a kick in the crotch. I remember I tested all that stuff and it worked fine. Weird. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh. Now, did that one work? Might as well test out while we're waiting for people to show up. Get some troubleshooting here, because like I said, everything on my end looks like it's coming through loud and clear. That one worked too. All right. My apologies, folks. Usually we get some rounds where people are right and ready to go, but this is when I just got dead air and trying to fill time. At the risk of having the infinity show up, let me double check this. Well, I can't do it without clicking on it. Strange. Well, I'm going to play the Pauperganda commercials. We got 4 of them for you. Hopefully our opponent shows up in the meantime. Here they go.
It's the liquor of ages, the tonic of conquerors. Find your spark. Gin and tonic, making men into giants since 1857.
Clogged pipes and plugged up toilets can bring a busy family to its knees. At Stinkweed, we know and understand you and your family just don't have time for that. Stinkweed, fast, professional plumbing you can count on. Call 2 in a Black, DREDGE5. That's 2 in a Black, DREDGE5.
I was brought to my knees when Stinkweed dredged my pipes.
Deluxecoff's Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. Blows colored bubbles. Changes colors while you chew. Discard your old brand for something new.
The Lexicos Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. It's yummy.
The Marilagia. If you are going to drink like a wizard, then you must release the beast. Marit Lager. Crack the ice and release your beast. Available at all fine Sinclair superstores.
Worm would like to remind you to drink responsibly.
Okay, well, gosh, waiting 5 minutes for our next opponent. Let me refresh this, guys. Sorry about that. Hope you liked the commercials. Hopefully the audio worked on those as well. Again, apologies about my little intermission. All set. Come on, people. Where's the love? Where are the Pauper players? What's going on? Jazzy128, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Again, we're kind of trying to iron out. We're probably going to favor Fridays moving forward, but we will be here same time tomorrow playing another deck. We're going to be in episode 2 of Pauperganda. We discussed Simic Advance, which Little Fight designed, and we both went back and forth modifying, and I modified it some more, and I think I'm going to give that a spin tomorrow. Sure can't go any worse than Goblins. If you're just joining us, every time we've done one of these, there's 5 or 6 now, we usually favor Rogue, and we go out and tend to break even. Sometimes we go 4-1, and just kind of shows the health of the format if you're able to design in a certain way using some certain parameters and focus on the right cards. Keep your mind open. But today I was after I'm a big UFC fan, so there's a lot of things I want to do later today, and I'm like, man, I don't want to have one of these go too long, so I'm going to play something mean, fast, and I'll play Goblins. So our first round we go up against You Are Fiend and lose a close one. In our second round we played Affinity, and I definitely could have played a lot better. I think I made about 3 or 4 swings, but in hindsight it's easy to say that. In reality, and so we're down 0-2 with one of the best decks, or easily the best deck to date we've played as far as tiers go, like tier 1 being the best deck, tier 2, and etc. So anyway, what is exactly as Pauper? You can't be serious. Well, hopefully we got new blood. Next to, if you actually mean that, I'm very curious how you arrived here, or like found it. Maybe you like Magic and truly didn't know. I think you're pulling our leg, but let us know. Pauper is easily I think the best format ever. You're able to use almost every single card that's ever been printed, and the power level is just absurd. Long time ago, I played a legacy match with a Pauper deck and won the thing, and that rubbed some people the very wrong way, because with about a $6 deck I was taking down people and winning on turn 2 pretty consistently. And that was back when Storm and Empty the Warrens and Kiln Fiend all talked together with Lava Darts and lots of good stuff. Alright, Nisk. I'm going to keep this hand. It'd be great. Hopefully we don't get screwed, but we're going to keep. We're on the draw. Don't know what we're playing against here. We've got some little bait, big bait, lots of good stuff. Pitchability, flexibility. Pre-New World Order. Nice. I heard about it but never really looked into it. Well, thanks for joining us regardless. Rainbow Penguin. Awesome. Good to see you. We're going to want our Goblin Caves in this matchup, that's for sure. We'll go out swinging with the Denizen. We get a mountain here, we're in good shape. 2 mountains, we're in really good shape. If not, just have a little Gatling gun approach. Very slow Gatling gun, more of a put gun. Sorry for the P's there. Here we go. Alright. I'm going to favor these. Game 2, not so much. Hopefully this will eat some love. The rest can be an issue here. Got to win the next 3 just to break even, keep our trend alive here. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, no disfigure. All right. What do we got here? Yep. Accumulated knowledge. I was a little surprised how much value this card holds. It is great when you build around it and your deck's built it, but boy, it's slow rolling sometimes. Don't like that. We should be all right. We've got to be careful here. We're worried about it's a little silly to even worry about a game 1 if he's got the justice. We're really kind of screwed here. We just got to go for as much carnage as we can get. As you can see, why it's a good idea to play those Foundry Streets first. A lot more love per punch. Simple bushwhacker, and it's all she wrote, hopefully. Death Spark, as you could tell, nice grindy card, but not against the Talisman. So we're going to be taking those out, bringing in our Pyroblasts, bringing in our Goblin Caves, so that almost every bit of removal, except the stuff that's worse against Goblins, which are Edicts, because it's just there's so many Goblins. Any mass removal stuff is nullified by the Goblin Caves that we discussed in the sideboard there. So wonderful draw. Not remotely, we're just going for it here, guys. Absolute damage. We are here to attack, just like Damarilaga. Only little if I can say it the right way, because if you're going to drink like a wizard, then you must release the beast. And we'll sacrifice that. Again, showcasing why these are so awesome to have. The removal pretty much reads, I still take 1 damage. 3, 6, 8, 9. Not enough. Get him to that uncomfortable place where if a justice does happen to be in his hand, he's almost hesitant to use it. Of course, he wouldn't be in this stage, but because of our raiders, we have access. Oh, I don't like this. Oh. So I'm gonna go like this. Peregrine Drake, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Boy, you got the name of the most hated card. I shouldn't say the most hated. I think it's a little overdone. I'm gonna drop Death Spark. Pitch this. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5. He has to do something here, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, except for the 6. But in regards to that, we can Death Spark again. We'll get them both back next turn. We'll have a nice steady supply of death. Again, play Goblins slow. You misclick on a raider or anything else. I'm glad he's playing this card. This is a nice ability how it tells you now -3. It used to not, so it was the you'd have to look at the text variant of the gameplay to see what was actually getting hurt and such. So he's killing this. So we're gonna say first we're gonna Death Spark. So he is killing this. So I'm going to say this needs to go here, and I will sacrifice this. So that's 2, 3. Now we're going to say this. I'm going to target itself. I always get so nervous doing this. I'm going to go like this. So we still have the damage. Is that enough? Hopefully this is showcasing why these Sledders and Mog Raiders are so deluxe. We've got 2 Death Sparks coming back. Oh, no you don't. I don't know if I can respond to that. I'll say this one, and we'll sacrifice this. There we got it. Yay! All right, through a fountain and a radiant fountain and that. Here we go. So, Death Spark is pretty cool actually, but let's not delude ourselves. There's no way. Goblin Caves here, MVP in this matchup. Takes almost all the removal and turns it into edicts. Is about the only thing that they can really get rid of stuff with. We're not too concerned with lightning bolts, believe it or not, in this matchup. There's not many creatures going to be getting in our way, so I'm actually going to take all of them out. I'm going to bring in all our Pyroblasts just for, you never know if it's a Curse of the Bloody Tome or a key counter spell. It's just a nice safe feeling to have sitting back on that, being able to counter their counters. And I'm going to bring in probably one life staff just for that long game. They start riddling our stuff apart. And in this matchup, we're leaving the Sparksmiths in just for extra creatures. You could argue to bring in the Shamans just so you can lower the curve, but the Goblin keyword's very important there. So with that, we're set. Tulpan, nice to see you, buddy. Good to have you. Wonder where our regulars were. Dun 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 dun. I am going to... Maybe I'll try the other intermission, because that one did work last week. We were talking about the little intermission we had for a bathroom break. I actually call the little stop there bathroom break. I got to make them a little bit longer. That's a hurried bathroom break. So we like this hand. I mean, I'd love to see caves, because realistically they probably brought in some shrivels. This is looking a little, excuse me, a little weak against that, but we'll keep. I mean, you almost want to keep any hand with 2 lands because you're going to have just a plethora of creatures, and it's kind of the ultimate land draw there. 4 and above, consider pitching it, which we've done often today. And we're good. So we're looking for some 1-for-1 removal here. Maybe keep up Pyroblast mana. Get our Matron on board with the War Marshal's the usual target. And we like that we saw Agony Warp. Mostly because it's yet another thing that our Pyroblast can hit, so good times. I'm going to put out the thing that I want to die first. You know what? I'm going to put them both out. I got a Goblin next turn with... We'll be alright. I don't know about you guys. I know I talk about art a lot. That is some terrible art. I've drawn stuff on the back of milk cartons that look better than that. And it's by Ron Spencer. He's usually pretty good, but this one, not that much better, but much better than the other one. That'll be neat in the future. Maybe they'll be able to allow people to... I know there's some hacks you can do that online with where you make your own card art, but this is a nice draw. We've got arguably one of our best things we can draw right now with Pyroblast backup, so I'm going to drop this. Hope he tries to maybe 2-for-1 us with like an exclude or something. Oh, you haven't taken... Tulpan says he hasn't taken Goblins to a league. Yeah, it's the first time in a long time for me, and that's what we were laughing about before you joined us, is all these rogue weird creations and outings, and they've all usually gone better than at least even money or better, and now we're bringing like a tier 1 serious deck to the thing to try to kind of speed up the pace for today's feed, and we lose the first 2 rounds, but it just shows how cool this game is we all love. I'm gonna sack this now. Late game, mid game, I like playing the Echo. Early on, I take the damage where I can get it. I'm gonna feel horrible if a Shrivel comes down, but we still keep our 2 guys, and it turns into a 1-for-1 at that point. What rogue decks have you taken to leagues? Oh, LP Blanks asks, all of our stuff's archived. There's probably 6 or 7 of them now. Our most notable, our popular ones, we played a green land destruction deck that went even, and then we won with a white infect deck. Yes, you heard that correctly. White infect. Very heavy graveyard incursion. Tomorrow we're going to be playing a Simic deck that was showcased on episode... What was it? Episode 2. Well, that sucks. Just click real slowly when you do this. Make sure they're targeting that, because that makes you feel more like a jackass than sacking your own guy for no effect. All of that for 2 damage. Terrible. Which the Radiant Fountain just negates. Yeah, kind of pride ourselves on Rogue. We played a Esper Speed deck, which didn't do so well. That was probably our worst outing, but a heck of a lot of fun to play. It was blue-black, but used all the regulars. Oh, yeah, look at me taking out my Death Sparks. Well, at least we have an Arsonist still, right? This isn't looking so good. Deluxikov says, take out those lightning bolts. Who needs them? That's what I say. I ain't gonna shy away from you. Would you like to use this awesome ability? Nah, I think I'll pass. Heel Cutter might be interesting here. We're always gonna like the War Marshal here. We're just setting up. He's gonna nuke. It'll be fine. Take some damage. We haven't really hurt him at all here. This is his game to lose at this point. Maybe I'll have some fun making him hurt himself even harder, or he doesn't know the multiple trigger activations, which again is another what do you call episode 2 shout out. Make sure to hold down control when you activate the Crypt Rats. But hey, he's doing us a favor of at least playing a black bordered one, so maybe we won't mind giving him a game. There's nothing worse than white borders. You want to piss off old D, show up with those. They'll put me on tilt faster than anything. Right, Little? Come on, sucker. Come on, Creed. What you got? You want to play safe? Alright. I can do that, I can do that. 1, 2, he can pump at 3. That's alright. You said regulars. Did you mean familiars? I haven't heard of regulars. Oh, I just meant regulars as with regards to our little family here at Twitch. We've got some Shrazamon is usually here. He's easily one of our. Tolpan is another one. We've just Pauper regulars. That's the best way to say it. Well, if he wants to let me Fire Blast him every turn and build up my hand, I'll oblige. Keep joining us, and we'll keep this ship going. I'm really surprised how little Pauper content there is. We want to save this one first. We will sack this. We want to save this one. We will sack this. Where's my Death Sparks? What sort of fool takes those out? Hold on a minute. What did he exit for? I hope I don't. Oh, I'm a jackass. I'm sitting here trying to narrate and didn't realize he did that for 2. I was afraid of that, but I clicked through it. Any order. That's fine. Alrighty. I'll go like this. Oops. Slow down, D. Here we go. And I discussed in other ones, this is a whole nother beast for anybody out there that's curious about broadcasting a feed on Twitch. Little misplays like that, I probably would have been able to keep them alive, or at least caused 1 more damage, but little mistakes like that. I didn't catch that he tapped 2, even though there were 2 right there in front of my face. But yeah, I'm kind of typical of Goblins. Its ability to reset's pretty powerful. Here we are going to pay it. Don't have the most aggressive hand. We've got Pyroblast backup. I would assume that he's hoping for a Teachings end of turn here. We like that though. We like that a lot. Let's attack first. I either watched your stream before or saw you on the tube. Remember the name. Thanks, MT Day Drafter. Yeah, trying to give Pauper some love out there. That's what we like to see. Get out of here. I do prefer the new artwork of the Pyroblast, but I'm just... Okay, well, it costs 2 spells. So that one's not dying. This one is. Ugh. Boink. Feeling pretty miserable with our goblins here. Hopefully a bushwhacker will show up and no shrivels. Where's our goblin caves? That would feel really good. I mean, that, again, turns this completely off. Goblin caves. No. Boy. We are a dead duck to crypt rats or nausea or shrivel. But this is on board. And I am not going to sit here and play safe and let him just 1-for-1 me with damage. I'm going to go for it. What's up, Arctic Ghost TV? Thanks for joining us. We've got some fun little commercials and interstitials planned in between rounds here. We are piloting probably our most serious deck to date, Goblins. And not having a very good day of it. Had some close matchups. Round 1 against UR Fiend. Lost second round to Affinity, even though we're sporting all 4 of our Gorilla Shamans. Jump over there real quick and show you our list. But even despite having 4 of these main, they just never showed up. And we just got picked apart. Fling showed up both games. Our Sparkies and our Matrons sure didn't. But what you gonna do? Shows how... Now let's see. That's only a 1-draw spell. I'll let it live. He's just 1-for-1. And if he had 2 or 3 in the yard, it might counter that. Yeah. Ghost was... Arctic Ghost, I watched you guys on the Tuesday feed on my rare vacation Tuesday. I was able to play one of them, and it got me looking in the Twitch and thinking, and so you can thank Arctic Ghost for fast forwarding this process of getting Pauper content. Definitely go check him out. Good stuff. They usually do the Pauper Classic Tuesdays, if I'm not mistaken, and run that event. Eeg. Man, oh man, look at this. Craziness. Gorilla Shaman, the best card you never get to draw. Yes. I feel that. That's for sure. Do I want to... You know what? I don't want a permanent blocker there. Okay. Interesting tech. That'd be a neat design. Make a Fairy Macabre deck that's the only creature in it. Never a dead card. Good times. Yeah, Pauper Elves. I might do that too. There's plenty of decks to choose from. That is for sure. All right. So this is what we like. Got a little counterspell backup. He's only on 2 cards here. He's probably holding the Mystical Teachings and doesn't know when he's supposed to pull the trigger. Or not doesn't know, but just a little nervous against goblins, right? Ooh, boy, we don't see any counterspell love there, huh? And I'm just going to ignore my Sparksmith at this stage. This is just carnage. Carnage time! I'm sure the Foundry Street's going down, but we'll see. Maybe he's playing Whale of the Nim. Yeah, you're not going to go get it. Boy, I feel clairvoyant today. Oh, Crypt Incursion. I bet that was his plan. And hopefully next turn we can do it again. Crypt Incursion's really good against this. Yet another Pauperganda episode 2. Hey, little fight. Throw that link up, would you? We discussed so many cool little texts and things to look out for. One of our critiques, I thought it was a compliment, but it was posed as a critique, was that it was just too much. It was like having like a quadruple espresso. But, you know, time's a valuable commodity, so we wanted to give you everything so you can just click on it and when you're brewing a deck, and make sure that those MVPs are in there. But we covered that in episode 2 called Sideboards Explored. Just a lot of really good stuff. Yikes! Boy, we don't like this. Now, and in that same episode, we talk about the double activation of Crypt Rats so that it can kill a echoed War Marshal, no problem. Arctic Ghost says he likes Smash to Smithereens against Affinity. Yeah, that's good, and also good against Spire Golems. More of a preference thing overall, I would think. But and he doesn't watch Pauperganda episode 2. Nisk must not be a fan, because if he was, he would know how to do that. Not that we're the only outlet to teach that, but we're there to give you that. Oh, what a kick in the crotch. Mountain. Thanks. Let's have a little fun. Nah. We'll save our Bushwhacker of the Imaginary Persuasion for our next turn. Then it'll really be over. Gotta put those bushwhacking vibes out there. Is Vandal Blast a common in a commander product? W3570N says, good grief. Get a name I can say better. I'll call you W3. Sounds like a R2D2 or something. Hey, you know what we needed right then? Man, one more and we got this thing tied up. Just one more mountain and we are set. There'll be no defeating us at all. I mean, how are you going to beat 5 mountains? Nobody can do that. Come on, Mystical Teachings. Go and get you some. Any UFC fans out there? Anybody gonna be watching the Conor McGregor fight tomorrow? I'm gonna say no to that. That's just game over. He's gonna go grab his little Crypt Incursion. That'll be all she wrote. And we're paying special attention to the clock here. This matchup can go long. Because of that, game 3, I'm going to bring in another life staff just so we just have even more options. Might even bring in one Death Spark, mostly for the time, and the occasional rat. What's he on? Maybe he's drawing lands. Yep. Yeah, I was trying to play Goblins just so I could stay under 2 hours on this, but our opponents are taking so darn long to show up. Yep. And it looks like he's going to hold this one out, because if he grabs Crypt Incursion here, guys, it's all she wrote. Mystical Teachings for what? See, this is the screen I usually have up, but to help you guys with the eyes there. Crypt Incursion. Maybe he does watch episode 2. Now, you'd have to be pretty blind to miss that card. A lot of people miss the activations of Crypt Rats. If everybody knew how to do that, I think Crypt Rats would be in 30% of the decks. Whenever I'm building with anything that has access to multiple black mana sources, it's just like, give me a break. Oh, you jerk. He's trying to get even extra love for it. Alright, there's 3 more life for your Crypt Incursion. So apologies here, guys, but for this game, we're going to be going the time route. It's going to really try to whittle this guy's clock down, interact as much as we can. Here comes, I guess he doesn't have to do it now. Crypt Incursion. Ain't that a kick in the crotch? Yep, I told you guys, we get 5 mountains, we're unbeatable. See what that does? You gotta just accept the universe's hatred of you sometimes. It's like, here's another land. And another, and another, in a deck where you almost don't have any. Hey, you know what I needed there? Ugh. This should be a page in the dictionary under futile. Futile. I'm gonna go get another one. Arctic Ghost says, when I wrote about NBC, I didn't even have Crypt Rats. You bet you're behind. I would have pointed out the whole control strat, though. So many don't know about it. Yeah, and we just witnessed it. It's the only reason this little dude's alive. Oh, man, he'd be a fun mouth to animate in one of our little videos. Goblins. I always like that one cannon flavored text when they say fire, aim, ready, I think is how it says it. Orcish Cannoneers or something like that. I love when that flavored text just points the stupidity finger at them. Really? That's a strange play. Tokens. Okay. Oh, normally this is quitting time, folks. What is that? 6 lands in a row? But we got them by 2.5 minutes, and so you know what we really needed there? This is unbelievable. Well, we are halfway through our deck and we have drawn half our lands, but I'm just doing stuff to buy time. Hopefully he tries to kill this with some spell. It's not even really triggering. Oh, there we go. Cool. That's a big threat, you know. You have 46 life with the Prismatic Talisman out. Little does he know I'm saving all these mountains that will naturally turn into bushwhackers and make them rue the day. Rue, I say. I had to start paying extra mana. Nah. Well, okay. You know, we haven't seen one Justice. Maybe his version is just running the rats. What do you say? Accumulated knowledge comes through. Maybe we'll deck him. I don't mind playing versus Drake, but the teachings I'd pass. Yeah, teachings can... I don't know, there's a sadistic part of me that... Oh my gosh, have you... This might be a record. We only run 18 lands in this, and that's some... I almost hope he looks at our hand. What's cool is by not playing these, we're kind of signaling like, well, we're just going to kind of go for some alpha strike, and maybe it makes him hesitate that much more. Burn a little bit more time. Odds, thanks for joining us. Talk about regular. There's one of them. Good to see you. You haven't missed much. We're bringing Goblins to play, thinking it was going to do well and fast, and it's going bad and slow. I was mentioning to everybody we've had success with all kinds of little rogue brews, and or at least breaking even on money, and we're fighting to stay even here with arguably the best deck we've brought to our little Twitch outings. So, and we're getting horrifically flooded. I think out of 10 cards, maybe 8 of them were mountains in the last 10 draws. So, but at this stage, we're playing the old Luxikov time game. A favorite. Tasanara, good to see ya. Killer tofu. I just had some tofu before this cast. It's always hard to get that stuff browned the right way. I'm too impatient of a cook. All right. Yep. Tick tock. How many more minutes can we use? Someone post. Yeah, it is hard to play against. That's why I focus all my rage and hatred with regards to the time. That's what I enjoy. This guy. What's he got here? Just a minute. Let me see what he's got here. He's dealing 7. All at once? Okay. It's always sad when people don't know those little tricks. Maybe he'll watch episode 2 and learn a thing or 3. That's the common move. It's rare that you see somebody that knows. This. Wow. Guess what we drew, folks? Another land. This is an interesting build. I'm wondering if I'm sensing he doesn't even run Justice. It's usually kind of the kill card of choice. well, we'll let it take all 20 turns and make him prove it, because you just sit back and let me attack each turn. It takes a few more seconds, few more seconds, few more seconds. Please play a spell. Look at that, man. It's like 10 seconds. Yeah, that was a really needed there. Oftentimes I see people in this stage and, oh, come on, can I get a little love out there? This is pretty crazy, right, guys? Yeah, Darscat says, he said 19 land. You sure it's not 39? Boy, I tell you, feels like it. That's for sure. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Okay. It's been so long. I don't even remember. Is this this has to be at least game 2. I think we won the first one. You get just dizzy with numbness when you play against teachings. It's like, ugh. Are we 1-1 or? Come on, just kill me there. But no. Yeah, mono red Valakut. Let's get them lands shooting off. That is a card I will be horrifically satisfied if they ever print something Gardner like that just says, you know, when you play this card, go look for any number of lands and remove them from the game. Probably too powerful for Pauper, but oh, I would shove that in every build. That would be so awesome. Maybe an artifact that does it. Just to, you think it would be in their interest too to prevent screw. It's like nobody likes flood or screw, which is why retrace is easily my favorite mechanic ever, because it kind of fixes both. Alright, Ghost says, cards like Wretch Mind are just better than Cry shenanigans. Yeah, Travis Wu with his Wu Rats, that when you go all in on strategies like that, it's really strong, but anymore, Gurmag Angler is kind of shoved. There's a good card, but Gurmag Angler has shoved a lot of discard out the door. A lot of times you don't want to be making people discard because you're just adding fuel to the fire, but so when this was all over, it was at about 14 minutes. So as you can see, as opposed to just quitting, we burned half of his life total with regards to time. And if you're new to this, the Lexikov here, I love winning by time. It's just this side little sadistic part of me, and I'll argue till I'm blue in the face about it. It is a very valid way, and sometimes I design decks just to do that, especially if the metagame's right. So. Strange play. The WB deck. Which one's that? Arctic Ghost. Hey, Drogon Siege Doggy or Dodge. How you doing? We're having a riveting matchup where we're trying to draw the world record for the most mountains drawn in a game. Oh yeah, it wins when justice isn't involved. Alright, well wait till he sees my next draw. I was hoping for a little comic relief there that I'd draw yet another mountain. Let's see, 8, 10, 13. There's only 5 left in our deck. And you got to counter that. You know, as a minute ago I thought this was over. Can we get him to 5 minutes? Well, you really got to watch out for Sparksmith with 36 life and no critters on the board. That thing will eat you up, especially if the good dude has 5 mountains in his hand. Ugh. My back. Hey, maybe this will draw a counterspell. We can dream, right? Hod says you get almost a 4-for-1 with Ozhorv Enthusiast, but I imagine the magical Wonderland circumstances it should average 2-for-1 at least. Yeah, hopefully by tomorrow we have that little mana helper up so we can get a little visual on the cards we're talking about, but we'll do our best. Make that a thing. Come on, get to 5 minutes. I'm not even like worried about this. It's just like, is he really going to drop a Radiant Fountain? He's a little concerned. What could be in his hand? Just a bunch of... Hey, our tech showed up. Now watch, he's going to capsize it. I should have attacked first, but what are you going to do? But it illustrates a neat point. This puts it out of range of so much, including the Justice, and Dun, 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 dun. Come on, we're at 5 minutes, folks. We hit our goal. Call 1-800-PAUPER-LOVE. Let's see if we can get that pledge down to 4 minutes, folks. Oh, we've got a caller. Perry Macabre, how are you? Well, let's play with fire. Who does that with 1 life? Now a whale of the name will kill us. But we're just doing stuff. Can we get it to 4? Do I hear a 4? 4? Auctioneer, anybody? Oh! I called it at 5:30. 5:30 is the winner. Chicken dinner. All right. So he's got 5 minutes to beat us. We're actually going to bring in life staffs here just because of the time. And Sparksmith can deal with you know who. No, I'm not going to take out a mountain. That's an anomaly. I'm not paranoid. So we got to get rid of 2 cards here. It's pretty silly. Get rid of that. There's not much blocking going to be going on there. If it does get to a block stage, we're in good shape. Dun, 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 dun. Power blast, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I like those. We'll take out a Sparky. Keep our curve nice and low. Good to go. Tolpan. What is up? Thanks again for joining us, guys. Sorry we're no winning more with Goblins. Figured this was just going to be over and out in just under 2 hours, but what do you know? So we've got our time, we've got our defense, we've got our early. I think we'll keep this. Yeah, won't dilute ourselves. Get the least of this going a bit. I wish I had your enthusiasm here, Little Fight. Thank you for that, my friend, but I'm not sure yet. I'm going to slow roll this. Stuff will die. Little Fight says that, I think, out of the pure rage that is the clock. He knows what I'm talking about. It's tough when you're narrating and trying to entertain people at the same time. I should focus on this, but I do enjoy playing the clock game. It's one of my favorite things. Boom, boom. I'm going to slow roll. We're not trying to win here. We're trying to time him out. Winning's a nice little secondary drawback. I don't know if he can win in 5 either. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So I'm going to go like this, anticipating maybe a counter spell. I like to have backup for that. And we're kind of out of the worrisome realm of 1 damage stuff. I mean, you can 1-for-1 us, but then we're going to gain life. We're sitting on 2 counter spells ourselves, so again, we're gonna play it slow. It's been a minute. We've only got 4 more of them. Yeah, I'll let him have it. Drawing 1 card for the 1 card that you used, not really that big of an advantage. Doing the wave. Yeah, where are you guys all from? Let's shout out what country, what state, whatever. Let us know. I'll just keep the good times rolling here. Hopefully he sitting on a mystical here. I'm gonna let that one go too. Denmark, says Rainbow Penguin. Atlanta, Georgia, Killer Tofu. Poland for Hatred PL. Man, we're globetrotting. Tolpan, Finland. You know, Tolpan, I took a survey that asked me a variety of questions, one of those silly Facebook ones, like what country's best for you sort of thing, and it was Finland, because I like dark weather so much and I never get tired of rain. But Italy, says Dogan the Seed. Liston, Idaho. Crimson Rum, thanks for joining us. MTDJ Drafter, Oakwood, USA. You're probably closest to me. I'm towards Los Angeles. Little Fight's way over in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Let's see. Focus, focus. Okay, we got that, we got that. Let's hope for a mountain. See, man, there's just no love. What did we get all last turn? Just mountains for days. We're here to just gain life and eat the clock. If he kills stuff, that's cool. If we hit him, that's a little bit better. We'll see what we can do. Berlin, Germany. Tassanara. Man, I got to get out more. Let's see. Nah, screw it. What do we got? Oh, it went through. Well, I guess he's not on counter spells, because I would have countered that fervently. That's one of the greatest plays in this deck. And since we know he doesn't know how to use Crypt Rats, he might 2-for-1 us, but he won't 3-for-1 us. Oh! But he'll do that instead. Good times. 3 minutes remaining. I should get like some red clock animation behind me. It's like the little red alert from Star Trek sound. That'd be pretty funny. I'll let it go. Nope. Mostly because it will lead to... What you got? More spells. That's great. Thank you, sir. 10 seconds here, 5 seconds there. What you got? Alright. I'm not trying to kill you, mister. There it is. Impressive. Let's see. You can trigger it plenty of times. There we go. All right. Hello. Wow, like he's hurting himself more than he is us. This is interesting. Oklahoma. Cool sounding place. Cool sounding. Dun, 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 dun. Come on. You got any more 1 minute removal spells? Oh man, that's only like a 5-second removal spell. Maybe he's on to us. Alright. Let's see. Maybe a 20-second counter spell? Nope. Alright. It might have been a mistake. We're not really hurting for life here. And mystical teachings here. Well, actually, I take that back. We want him to teachings here. Because that's like a 10-second spell. Be like an expansion I could come up with. That'd be funny. Time spiral and then some. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go like this. Let's try and hurt you some. Sorry guys, I'm gonna try to focus a little bit more than usual. Argue amongst yourself. Little fights there to help out with the communications. Again, thanks for joining us. Episode advice, critiques, all welcome. Pauperganda@gmail.com. Love to hear from y'all. Hey, we're gonna win the old-fashioned way. What's going on here? I don't want to do that. We're gonna win the old-fashioned way? Who does that? Oh no, he's got the one. He's got the one. Well, 3-5. Nope, he doesn't have the one. He's got the one to... Oh man, I was really hoping to win on time there. Yes! Alright. Well, here's a neat little thing. Don't say yes to this because, as I used to learn in my Empty the Warrens days, that's why these are really good again. So, we're going to say this creature is going to get a boost by sacrificing this goblin, which negates that, and then this one lives, even though they're the same name. Come on, don't let me beat you the old-fashioned way. I want to time you out. One life to rule them all. Oh, I'm really disappointed. I'm losing my touch a little. That should be at like 20 seconds. There's the new archetype. Time Goblins. A deck that wins without... Okay. What you got? What you got? Come on, Nisk. Where's your crypt incursion? Gotta stay in this one. Got a whole minute 40 left. Man, this is kind of a bummer. Not most people be happy right here, like, hey, got the win, but it's like, come on, man. I hope he's got an answer. Come on. Gosh darn it. Oh well. So we won that one. That kind of sounds funny, but just a sec, folks. I'm gonna load up commercial from last week. Apologies, this week's didn't work, just so I can use the restroom and such. So there's going to be a little bit of a hiccup, but bear with me.
It's the liquor of ages, the tonic of conquerors. Find your spark. Gin and tonic, making men into giants since 1857.
Clogged pipes and plugged up toilets can bring a busy family to its knees. At Stinkweed, we know and understand you and your family just don't have time for that. Stinkweed, fast, professional plumbing you can count on. Call 2 and a black, DREDGE5. That's 2 and a black, DREDGE5.
I was brought to my knees when Stinkweed dredged my pipes.
Deluxe Cough's Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. Blows colored bubbles. Changes colors while you chew. Discard your old brand for something new.
The Lexicos Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. It's yummy.
The Marillagia. If you are going to drink like a wizard, then you must release the beast.
Marit Lager. Crack the ice and release your beast. Available at all fine senior superstores.
Worm would like to remind you to drink responsibly.
And we're back. Sorry about that. Had way too much water, and so 2 bathroom breaks are needed. We hope to keep the commercials fresh. Like I said, we had a brand new one that was all set to go, but the audio for some reason isn't working. So back to the drawing board, but we'll have it for you tomorrow. Little interstitial, old school style. I always like our that series, Look Around You, from the UK a few years back. Always some good stuff to animate Tim's jaw too. It's funny that Prodigal Sorcerer isn't used more in decks. It's a pretty decent card, but you got like the Trade Wind Fairies and a few of the other ones that have haste, and I was fond of Volshock Sorcerer for a while and red. Pinging is always an awesome thing, as noted with our Death Spark. So we're only 1 and 2, and let me bring up the stat sheet and at least do some stuff to fill things out. Where's our teachings at? Or did I merge the two? Teachings. Stand at 5. Yeah, looks like we've been losing that one as of recently. We already logged the other one, and then we lost to, what was our second match there, guys? Thank you, Crimson Run. Appreciate that. We do a lot of fun little spoof commercials. We've got a lot of stuff. Like I said, a little technical difficulties to some of the old stuff. If you like that, check us out on YouTube. We're all about quality, not quantity. So hopefully, Mongler. Tastanar, no, we don't stream every day, but we do archive all of them. So if you're bored, curious, sitting around, don't have much to do, want some nice background music, we're here for you. We only stream, so far it's been like 3 or 4 weeks now, and we've done Friday and Saturdays. Every week I say it's the last time, but Thursday rolls around, I get the itch, and I want to share stuff with y'all. And you know, to be honest, it's the community that's what's really interesting about this. I came into it kind of like, it's the big deal. Who's going to want to watch people play this long and sit around, and it just seemed boring to me. But I like I said the last time, I get it now. It's this is neat. All these people from all over the world that never be able to meet. Hi, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. Please spread the word. Let's support everything that has to do with Pauper. Even if they don't like us, support them. Because we make a loud enough noise, eventually maybe I know it's a pipe dream, and I genuinely don't think this will ever happen, but maybe we can get an all-common set printed or something similar to it. I mean, Eternal's Masters got close with a lot of our desires and wants. That was our little nod, wink, wink, pipe dream, like, hey, they're listening. Of course, they weren't, but... And then, or, you know, maybe even it gets on, not maybe a Pro Tour, that would be awesome, but maybe a Grand Prix or something, who knows. Secondary market. I know some card shop owners out here in the LA area, and they make a ton off of commons because of Pauper. So I think if somebody wearing a suit told Wizards had a little, what do you call those, the Excel spreadsheet meetings and stuff like that, maybe they'd start to come around. But until then, we can only make as much noise as we can, and so thanks for joining us. We're going to get you hooked on this Deluxecoff for the Pauper community. I hope so. I hope you guys don't mind. I know for Halloween I make masks as a hobby, so maybe maybe we'll do some like cool spooky broadcast. I'll get some candles out and keep switching masks around. I know I scared the crap out of Little Fight's wife one night when we were on Skype. Then I I entered the room with one of them because they're pretty scary. Oh yeah, there was a Pauper Super League. Definitely would like to do that. We're gonna keep this. Yeah, again, let's see. I mean, we definitely want another land, but we'll keep this, especially game 1. Pretty hard to find. Super Hate. I don't think I've ever played this person before. Maybe once. A Kiki Jiki mask. Yeah, maybe I ought to start making some themed ones that way. Oh boy. If this is elves, this is going to be rough without more mana. I'm just hoping to trade here. I'm going to save this to see if he's something of the Timber Watch persuasion. But boy, if this is elves, this is where we'd really like our Death Spark. Watch, he's playing some land destruction variant. It's gonna blow us up on turn 1 or turn 2. Like his taste in artwork. Good stuff. Yep, I think we're going against elves here, folks. No Birchlar. Oh, nice draw. I'm going to have to be really fresh and with a lot of coffee when I do my elves live, because I have a whole bunch to say about elves. But that's about as good as the start gets there. Ooh, boy. F6 it, as we're fond of saying in Pauperganda. Get some sleep now. See you tomorrow, Tolpan. Thanks for coming by and sharing the love. Good times. Hopefully we see you tomorrow. We're going to be playing a rogue deck, which, if it proves anything, maybe we'll be doing better than we are with this tier 1 nonsense. Who ever heard of Goblins? It's supposed to be good against stuff, I guess. What's our count up to, including Tolpan? We're just kind of curious. Always, like I said, I'm always surprised 5 or 6 show up. So y'all should stream deck suggestions for the community. That'd be cool. Give us an example, Killer Tofu. What you talking about? I think I know what you're talking about, but let me see here. I'm gonna throw out more art that I don't really like to see if we're gonna trade. I want to get rid of stuff that looks ugly. Yeah, we've had quite a presence in the last 8 months or so. Fight and I started this little adventure. I think it was November-ish or something. He had mentioned we wanted to do something new, something trippy, and do a full-blown show that hasn't never been done before, like full-blown like TV movie trailers and real high production value. And because, you know, podcasts are a dime a dozen. No offense to those who do them. This is a dime a dozen. Anybody can just jump on Twitch, although it's not that easy. But we really wanted to hit with something new, so we put out a lot of new stuff, ideas, just trying to spur the community on, get it noticed. So hopefully, the reason I was talking about that Killer Tofu was that answers a bit of your question. We've got a lot of stuff out there, so when in doubt, head on over to YouTube and grab a nice merit lager, sit back and stroll through, leave some comments, let us know what you like, what you don't like. But one thing Little Fight and I will never stop doing are the commercials. They take quite a while, but boy, they're fun. We're losing this game, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm going to block here, take a loss. I'm gonna 2-for-1 myself in hopes that I want to turn off that engine of the birch lore, and then I got to turn off the, I mean, we're losing. There's no way we come out of this, but I need 2 lightning bolts just to lose slower. You know what? I'm not gonna be able to beat elves on time normally, so I'm just gonna pitch this one over. We didn't draw our land. Get flooded, get screwed. What you gonna do? All right. Martyr of Ashes definitely gonna come in this matchup. We love Death Spark. I like this. Heel Cutter, not so much. Elves is just going to have so much stuff out there that making one thing unblockable is going to be pretty silly. Lightning Bolts, good times. So we can't lose that. Arsonist would be a nice little pinger. I'm not fond of the Denizen just because of its weak backside. And they're going to have so many ground creatures early that we're actually going to get rid of all of them. We're going to want our stuff to hit a little bit harder. I doubt we're going to need caves. But I would like to see Life Staff in droves so that we can keep, the logic being so that we can keep spark smithing. So, all right. Shazamon, oh, he shows. We were just saying, somebody brought up about an hour ago, who are the regulars, and I was like, well, definitely number 1, Shazamon. So you have kept your streak alive, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Killer Tofu. And we're off. Shirazamon, you'd be laughing because this is the first day we're not playing a super over-the-top rogue deck. We're playing like a pretty established tier 1 deck, and we're down 1-2 with Goblins. We lost to You Are Fiend. I forget the second round, and then we barely edged out Teachings in round 3. Now we're up against Elves. Woohoo! Good times. Yeah, we're keeping this. Actually, you know, I probably should have had him go out. I misspoke. We Elves often does timeout, and that being said, I should have probably, but he would have probably finished me off in about 2 turns there. So, but it could make a difference. I've got to watch myself too, because sometimes Death Spark and Life Staff shenanigans can really take some time up. All right, we're gonna go like this. And I don't mind double Death Sparking or burying it under itself, because every creature beyond then, if you look at my ugly mug for a minute, kind of sets back when you remove it. It falls down on the next Death Spark, and so you're able to go from there. But I'll drop this and I'll just develop the board a little bit. Tempted to hold back for another Spark. Probably might have been the better play. Goblins, says Shirazamon. Yep. No, this isn't round 1. This is round 4? I don't think it'll show me. No, it won't show me if I pull that up. But and that's definitely target number 1. So what I was saying, normally you never want to bury Death Spark, but against itself, it's fine. You can have some pretty neat plays, because this will trigger twice. Once one of these guys dies, it'll just keep falling down. I like in this. I think we caught him on a 1 mana draw, which is pretty common for elves, and we took out his 2 main options. Oh, there it goes. All right, that's got to go immediately. Speak of the devil. This should be pretty valid. I'm really afraid this Vanguard's going to get out of control. As you all know, this might be... Ooh. Thing might become like an 8/8 by the time, and then our Sparksmith might be in a tight spot. Yeah, Tassanara Burn is fun. One of these weeks I'll take out Burn and go for it, but watch, I'll end up running up against tokens, and the games will go long or something. You can never tell with the mana gods. Okay, so I'm liking our strategy here. Again, this is one of the only matchups I don't like Foundry Street, when there's just so much ground people out there. It's a 1-for-1, and especially against elves. I mean, between us, we're probably running 70 creatures, so we'll go from there. Oh, okay. Little Fight says he's got the burn angle countered or covered. Well said. I don't too often play it. I liked it in Modern for a little while. There's a really neat Modern deck that I was into for, I forget the guy's name, but we both designed it at the same time, and he showed up on the Pro Tour. He got like 8th or something with it. Not 8th overall. I mean, on day 2 he was like in 8th place, but it was a black-green infect deck with Abrupt Decays, main, and yeah, just really cool because the Inquisition of Kozilek, the duress of choice in Modern is a great first turn play to just grab their removal, and then you've got the Phyrexian Crusader, which in Modern the only thing that's going to nab you usually is Swords to Plowshares and Burn, and it's an infect 2/2 first strike with protection from white and blue. Good times. I would really like to see a Death Spark here. Sorry to talk Modern. Sacrilege. But I do play it sometimes. Yeah, but I got to keep this hand. We can't play that protective. My favorite deck, well, that's a 2-part question because I'm sure Little Fight's got one. Oh boy, that's a rough one. My favorite deck, it's probably Elves. Elves can do anything, has access to everything. Right behind it is Hexproof. There's that selfishness part of me that just I can't stand when my stuff gets messed with, or it's just neat to, I don't know, just shut the door so completely on some matchups. I mean, Hexproof, it just has those ridiculous draws where it's like, I don't care what's in your hand, I'm going to win this game, and that's kind of an intoxicating feeling. I get really into that, and plus I piloted Hexproof, not to sound like some, oh, I was first or a pioneer or whatever, but I did it for like a year or two before it was even remotely on the metagame charts. It was 1 or 2 other stragglers that were playing it, but it was nowhere near the numbers as it is right now. So I'd probably say it's a combination of those two. I mean, there's days though when I just adore Goblins too. So here we go. You go ahead and kill me with your Veridan Longbow all day long because my Death Spark will just keep getting stronger, baby. Oh yeah. Magnify. All creatures get +1/1. I actually have ran that in a few older ones. That's right. We are Pauperganda. I'm Deluxikov. My partner in crime, Little Fight here. Seasoning questions. Tough. That will come back. I'm going to let it go. He might be forgetting that it says all creatures. Now here, the worst thing you can do is play a Lightning Bolt because you permanently kill the best card in the deck. So I'm going to drop a Conscripts and attack. Hoping for some trades. Maybe he slow rolls us and tries to do the Veridan Longbow and turns on our Death Spark. Regardless, anything dies. We've got organic removal. Almost hoping for another land here. Not almost. Why do I say things like that? We are hoping for another land. Yeah, actually I have a Deluxikov handle on Twitch, but it has the exact same logo as Pauperganda because, again, I'm kind of new to this, so we'll get this sorted out. Then it'll be me in the chat room fielding questions and texting Little Fight 24/7 so he sees how hard it is on this end. Yeah, I'm surprised Burn hasn't shown up more. It had that really strong showing week when the Alchemist came out. Got everybody's respect, and then it went into hiding again. Distant Melody. Yikes. Well, that's not so bad. Yeah, it's a Time Walk, draw 3. Unless he's got a 1-drop, which is pretty common. Whoa, really? Okay. Oh boy, this is good times. So this is a neat play because he's going to have to respect the Smith. And I almost guarantee you this next turn he's going to equip, shoot it, and in the meantime we'll get our Death Spark back and start having fun again. I'd like to suggest I'm a lot better Goblin player than this record suggests. About last 5 outings with this deck, I usually go 5-0 or 4-1, but almost never 3-2, and we're already down 2. Try to play even if we win this game. This is game 3 against Elves, round 4. Yeah, yep, lost Affinity in your Affinity. That's right, it was Affinity. I was forgetting that. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, no, he'll probably be able to kill the Sparky. If he doesn't, he's going to regret it. Here it comes. Tap the Vanguard, the Sentinel, equip the Birch Lore, shoot the Smith. Okay. That's an interesting play. Boy, I don't know, guys. I think we have to prioritize the Vanguard with our hate with the Death Spark. Or maybe neither. Oh, boy, if we knew we were going to draw a land. Oh, gosh. I've got to do this, guys. I mean, we can get him down low, and then he's just going to run us over unless he's holding all lands, which is very, very low. So we've got to say yes to the Death Spark. That's what we needed. So we're gonna Lightning Bolt first to kill off the threat here. Pull up a mana. Drop that. And slow roll it a little bit. Now if we draw another land, we're really set because we got the Marshall Bushwhacker draw. Great to see all you here. Thanks again for joining us. There's our Lightning Bolt love. Well, now we got something to run into to keep triggering Death Spark, which is a neat little side plan here. Something's gonna die. Gonna get some food in your eye. The dreaded double red tap. Almost as bad as leaving 2 islands back. Come on, kill something. Kill something, please, so I can bring back my lovely Death Spark. Best red card in Pauper. I will hear no arguments about that if your deck's designed around it. This is way too complicated to be a common. Look, I mean, that is... I think that would make Neil deGrasse Tyson kind of scratch his head and read it 1 or 2 more times. Hey, that's a neat little idea. Anybody out there know of any, other than Will Wheaton, but Magic celebrities or people you bumped into that you found out were into Magic? Not so much Pauper. I mean, that's a home run if you've got that knowledge out there. But I remember my buddy Paul Grassoff and I, we used to start this rumor back in Invasion Block that Mr. T was really into Magic, and he was like, and he was really good, and we just... Every Grand Prix and stuff we went to, we just really overdid that and just always tried to make that a mention. And I wonder now if I shouldn't have said that. Maybe one of you, the rumor's gone full circle and come back around. It's like, I heard Mr. T plays, but I pity the fool. Dun, dun, dun. What do we got? What do we got? Feeling okay. We got Death Spark coming back. We got War Marshal. Run for the races. Anything he pulls out now, it's similar to when we're playing against teachings or control builds where they have to put something up to block because the life's getting a little too low here. Timber Watch shows up. That could be a problem. For a lot of reasons. Come on now. No Well-Wisher, no Well-Wisher. Please attack. What a complicated setup. But this is neat because with Death Spark in hand, I'll say no. he almost can't block anything because we're going to have our way with him. Got plenty of cannon fodder to keep everybody nicely fed. Whatever we come with. Yeah, maybe the... What you got? There's more coming next turn. That's what we want to see. Or what has he got? Magnify or something? So we do this so that this falls on it and we get it back next turn. We do the same thing. This can't be activated. Summoning sick right now. Shout out to the artwork. I think I've got to redo that in some of my decks. I think I've got the old artwork in there. It's one of the few homages I've got to get. Pyroblast, Hydroblast, a little too pricey for the art switch. I'll probably get around to it. I don't think I've got a playset of those yet. Got quite a few boosters I'm sitting on. I gotta sell them off. Okay. You keep feeding my Death Spark there. So here comes some more targets. What's neat about this, I'll target it first. I'll have to do that. And then I think we get in for the damage. Sound One, welcome aboard. Didn't see you there. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Gonna bring back our spark. Nah. Could have shot right there. That might have been the play. More goblins. He's like, good grief. Stop it. Raw. Yeah, I should have sparked. Oh well. Alzik, hello. Thanks for joining us. What are you guys finding out about us? What's working? Tell us that kind of stuff. Let us know what we're doing right and wrong, etc. This will be interesting. So he does it there, so that will die. And we want this to live. So I'm gonna I'll shoot that. See, I should have paid more attention to time. This is starting to become a thing with him. Maybe we could have had him down in 10 minutes here, but I don't think time's the issue here. So I kind of like this play. I mean, he's got to save his Timber Watch, but then he loses the thing, and then the only defense he's got is double packing it with a life bow. I mean, my guy dies anyway. He loses the elf. And now this is the Goblins' version of a fair fight. Ooh, that's not good. Alrighty. Yeah, we'll pay it. Oh, don't start doing this to me again, you bastards. I tell you what, I will do this. Just to turn on the Death Spark. Make him worry we got something. I got nothing, mister. I promise. That war marshal went to the graveyard for nothing. What a sucker. Oh no, he's gonna come back. You can just feel it. Come on, lightning bolt. Get something to respond with. Here comes the longbow. Bricks go face, says Shrazaban. Yeah, don't remind me of that 12 land hand. That was outrageous. Looks like it's happening again. Valakut and Pauper, folks. Let's see. I go all out. Block, kill, smack, boom, bing, pow. We suck. I don't think we're going to win this one. He's at 5, but I like his board a whole lot more than ours. Yep. He turns on that Nettle Sentinel with a bow. It's fitting that Nettle Sentinels would be good. Boy, no matter what I do, no matter what decks I think are going to play the fastest and not turn this into a 2.5, 3 hour Pauper fest, even Goblins are going or hit our 2 hour mark. Nuts. Well, this will be fun to talk about over the Pauper water cooler. I just can't believe. Okay. That we bring the best deck to the fight, and this is happening. Well, I'll just kill you with Death Spark, you bastard. Go get you some. If you joined us last week, Little Fight and I had this funny little saying where when we've had a few too many merit lagers or gin and tonics in us, we get kind of belligerent towards each other on Skype, and we would say the words, "I'm gonna kill you," like when we get really aggressive, but it would slowly degenerate into, the first version was like, "Oh, gee," and then it got really Cajun, maybe? I don't know what the right term would be, and it just turned into this drawl of, "Oh, ee." And then we started writing like, I forget how we spelled it. Do you remember that, Little Fight? But, so if you hear us say that, that's what it means. Something incoherent that sounds very slow and belligerent. It means an aggressive term. I'm going to kill you. Welcome, Lord of Jund. Enthusiastic Downfall 666. My goodness, lots of new people joining us. Thank you, thank you. Pauper's the best. Of course, I'm not playing that way yet. Yes, I will pay 1 for this awesome spell. Thank you. And let's draw a land. That's just on call, because as I said earlier, once Goblins hits 8 lands, I mean, nothing beats it. It's all she wrote. And this is all she wrote. I should probably concede here. This is really grim. Hopefully he's getting flooded. Yeah, that's it. IGNKYU. Now, in a pipe dream where Pauper does get the notoriety we're aiming for it to get, and people are buying products and stuff, that would be a hilarious just phrase to put on the back of a shirt. Just the Pauperganda logo on the front and business in the back. Ongi. Oh, I might have to make that. Get some. Anybody out there with a silk screening prowess? That'd be pretty awesome. Be a really good money making idea if places would come up with a way to make like just a few shirts. It's like every place you go, it's like you got to buy 500 of them and stuff, and so I'd be fine supporting, throwing some love out there, some shirts and whatnot. Be fun to have people show up with them and at Pro Tours and Grand Prix to get the questions rolling around. But still, it's just, I guess we could draw a lightning bolt here. It's not over yet. Pauper, power to the people. Come on, lightning bolt. Light my fire. If he's playing like me, he's probably sitting on a hydroblast. The number 1 way to beat elves is with red, which we were almost doing until our land showed up. Boy, we have to go back and really refigure this, because flood has been an issue, but this is the only tournament that's been an issue. I've played this deck way too many times at 18 to go back now. I do like it. Oh, Magnify Tech. I think is that enough? 7, 8, 9. Ooh, does he have? He does that little trick. I think puts him over the top. What a great comeback. So we are losing. Here comes the last round. We'll just jump right to it. And in the meantime, for our newcomers out there, I'll try to.
Still plenty of time to...
Sorry about that, guys. Give me just a minute, and while we're waiting for our next guy, I'm gonna try to fix this live so it'll look a little clunky here, but I gotta find the... Well... No. Oh well, we'll go from there. Yep, it was a good fight. Let's log it. Let's lick our wounds and see what we can see. Getting a little bit better at playing live. Boy, 6-1. I was feeling that way, but that lands came back, and yeah, there it is right there. Time and Martyr. So I'll go over the thing here real quick, because once we're done, we'll maybe, we've got a lot of people joining us mid to late, and thanks again for joining us. We'll go over it. Oh, and as we do, here comes the last round. I'll do that right at the end of it. Here we are piloting Goblins. The first time we're not going to draw it, or finish at least even or draw. Of course, we did that with one other deck, but most of the time we're able to go at least 3-2 even money. And they've all been rogue builds and just fun little excursions into deck building, which is really what I think Pauper excels at. There's a lot of people out there that'll say that it's not that way, but we really find that it's pretty deluxe that way. Oh gosh, I'm gonna mulligan this. I don't, if I see land, oh boy, this is getting ugly. We'll keep this. No mountains, go away. We don't like your kind around here. But so today, hoping to have a fast tournament, I bring Goblins. Definitely a tier 1 deck. Oh, look at this. As if mulligan to 4 wasn't enough, he's gonna make it 3. Not a fan of the new artwork on duress, but what you gonna do? And so we take Goblins out, lose, barely win, lose, and if this is what I think it is, we might lose again. Ugh. But if this proves anything, I know a lot of you guys think I'm always winning and stuff. I lose plenty, but that's what makes this game so great. The times that I don't play Pauper for more than a day or two, which is rare, it is when I'm playing something that's winning a lot. I think I've discussed that before. It's why I don't think I could ever play very long on a circuit, or if this was at a pro level, just because I just get that wanderlust, where it's like I've got to do something new, gotta do something. All right, we're gonna just kill this one for the sake of brevity. No way out of that. And everything from Holy Light to Disfigures to Shrivels. We're gonna bring in Goblin Caves, which is my favorite tech against black-based removal. Liking pretty much everything. I'll lose an Arsonist. That's usually only... I like the Arsonist one of, because we've got Matrons, and sometimes against Delver. It's a nice little play to bring in against. And one other creature. We'll actually lose a Sledder here. We're going to go to battle with this. Castigate. Yeah, it's funny, Shrazamon, when I first got into Pauper Online, I think I was in communication with Sam Black. Might have been him asking, like, what's the deck, and that was their main point, was him and I think it might have been somebody even as high up as Finkel, but it was a big name, and they were saying that that's like the pillar card, because it just can take anything out, and the logic's there, but it's funny how it doesn't play out. Sometimes theory isn't all there. Would you like to play first? Yes. Okay, we'll keep this. A nice burn hand here. Yep. Bad mulligans, but it happens the best. Goblins is one consistent deck, but this just proves that nothing's safe from the mana beasts. Alright. And we will figure that out after the show, little fight. Just get together and we'll find out how to use that bot, so when you guys mention a card, it supposedly pops up. A lot of people have been we just keep blinking and another week goes by and we'll join up. But tomorrow I'll probably be piloting a don't like this draw because I've kind of got to get rid of the lightning bolts before I even trigger this, because you do not want to bury Death Spark. But tomorrow, from episode 2 of Pauperganda, which maybe Littlefy can show up another link because we've got a lot of people since we did it last. We showcased a deck called Simic Advance that Littlefy designed, and I'm going to be probably piloting that one tomorrow. A lot of fun. Made a few little changes to it, and I've just been having a good time with it. It's one of those decks that does win a lot. I'm gonna just bolt this now. Conservation of a turn, or mana screwed, and I don't want to bury my Death Spark, so we're gonna favor using our lightning bolts early and first. Mana, thank you. All right. One of my favorite cards in the deck is the Heel Cutter. Just in some matchups, boy, that is really messes with people and repetitively turns on the cohorts. There's a lot of synergy in this deck that unfortunately this outing isn't showing, because I think everybody in the room will testify we've had some horrific flood issues, screw issues, mulligan issues. There's just sometimes, and it's not the deck's fault, the sample size is way too large to think that there's something wrong with this build. These cards are just garbage. If you go all in with this kind of TikTok strategy, it's fine, but it's an entire turn to get rid of one creature. I've got sack outlets. I mean, no offense to the guy. Maybe watch out, knowing our luck, he's going to make it work and kind of run crying about how good Pillory of the Sleepless is, but that's a card that leaves a lot to be desired. I'm going to Death Spark here, because we're not going to pay for that. So it'll die. Nope. Death Spark turned on. And once we get a little pitch outlet, we'll just sack that and we'll be all fine. Darth Scat says, shouldn't play 39 land. I know, it sure feels like that. Boy, that teachings matchup felt like we were playing 59 land. It was... I hadn't had a bad beat like that since old poker days. That was nuts. Yep, Crimson Run, you said it all. Crimson Run says, Pauper is so open, tier 1 decks drop to tier 3 decks all the time, and I find that too. I know it's very quick when you, especially like today, you know, we're playing this. It's like, oh man, you want to lick your wounds and make excuses. It's like, no, it's a great format. This is what it's all about. I mean, you get these decks all over the place. Rock, paper, scissors with like 80 other variables. Just love it. Even when I'm losing, I love this game. Good times. Of course, the company of all you sure make it feel a lot better. So we're not going to bring back the Death Spark here. Again, I actually kind of want to get rid of my lightning bolts, and we also don't have the mana to really pay for it. Yep, that is what makes it so good for it indeed. I'll just put that in the bank for later. We're going to shoot that. Hopefully he's got some double play, thinking, oh, he's got 2 lightning bolts. Maybe now I'll try to enchant that thing with this great spell, because I've got 4 mana. I should have 5. What are the odds? Ooh, that's when we do like Death Spark. Great card. That really was represented a turning point in deck design when Lone Missionary came out. It was one of those, I remember reading the spoiler going, wow, they're doing it. They're really trying to screw over little fighting people that love burn, where it's just makes some outrageous life gain abilities. I'm not going to do it again just because I want him to try to enchant that. Thinking I'm out of burn. Oh, I don't really want that either. Alright, let's clear the table at least. Yeah, Shirazama, it's almost like people knew I was streaming and what I was playing, and it all came out of the woodwork. That might start happening if this continues. Again, thanks for joining us, everybody. I know I've run into a few of you there. 7/7's nice. But next turn will be a 4/4. We'll be able to zap it. And I will bring back the Death Spark. This time. Yep. So we've got 4 of these. I'll turn this off. And we'll turn... No, let's not do that yet. He might be sitting on another Edge of Divinity. Getting a little low on life here. I'm only going to go for 1. Sparksmith sure isn't helping things that way, but... Gotcha. Missionary schmissionary. Give me a mana and we're off to the races. Okay. Watch that Pillory of the Sleepless ends up being the thorn in our back. You know what? I think the right play here is to Lightning Bolt first, because the correct play may be to bolt my own cohort here pretty soon if I don't draw one of my 8 pitch spells. Come on. Any day of the week, buddy. I'll do that. It's a bloodbath. Come on, Sledder or Raider. Let's go, let's go. Not what I wanted. I'm tempted to just shoot that thing right now. Stop the bleeding. I'm gonna actually do that. Yeah, they're out of gas. That turns on my Death Spark. Oh, we've got some nice next plays. Sparksmith's out of it. Alright. No. Oh, wait. Come on, sucker. Let's see. Yeah. Go for volume here. I don't want to pay for it still. Oh, this has been a very thwarting sort of outing. It's like we get absolutely flooded and then we get stuck on 1 or 2 lands. Like I was saying earlier, it's just a neat testament to the flexibility of the game. It's in a bad way, where it's, you know, it's not always like hey, look how stellar this thing is. Oh man, I like that play a lot. It's like I ain't looking to activate that anytime soon at 7 life. Thank goodness. I think we got a little lucky here with our opponent in our last round. We might be able to get like 40 points back. Well, we're definitely on the losing end of this. I'd be happy to play this 10 more outings, and I'm sure at least 8 of them would at least do much better than breaking even. Goblins is amazing. This is no testament to it. If you want to see it do really well, a version that was about 90% like this we did on YouTube, and that one easily marched in 5-0, and that's usually how the outings go. Again, why I wanted to play it today, to kind of speed things along and not always bring rogue, but ends up proving a few other points too. Namely that Pauper's always got game. Man, how good is this card? That is crazy. We're playing with this rare that was accidentally printed with black, and we got this 3-for-1. Who does that? Craziness. Bring this out. It's got no cards. I don't know why he's pretending to have force of will with 0 cards in hand. Always curious when people play like this. Yep. I think Maka is out of Value City Town, that's for sure. Sunlance. There's a card. I've always looked at it. I don't think I've ever put it in a deck. Great sideboard option. I just love that time. As a time spiral block that came from, pretty sure where that was just such a neat block where it's just had so many rules being broken. That and Pyrexia, those ones really near and dear. You guys got any favorite expansions out there? Reasons why? Could be nostalgia. Doesn't have to be a basis for what do you call quality and such. I'm gonna say no to this. We need either a mountain to trigger Heel Cutter over and over again, or a creature. And between those two, I think we're about 82% to draw it. So that's why we're not going to flash that back here. The vast majority of our deck will it will show us a creature next, which everything other than a matron will work, or a land, which will infinitely turn this on. I'll say no to that. It's almost like I've played this stuff before. Cast with Dash, which is beautiful. If you didn't see, Dash comes back every turn, which you need to trigger these every turn, so it really gives a lot of fire. And whenever you have to target your own creatures, try not to click on Sledders or Raiders. It's just one of those, if you accidentally double click, stuff dies. It's a silly way to lose, so it's another little tidbit hopefully you take away from this. And hatred is amazing. Still killing people with it at home tables. Yeah, that's great. A unicorn of love. Welcome. Hello, Robinson 81, Sasha 210. Man, lots of new folks today. Thanks for joining us, guys. Having a miserable outing with Goblins. Our best deck that we've brought to the table yet, and yet it's failing. But it just shows how great Pauper is. Come on, come on. What's he got? We got the Sledder. We got defense. What's this? What's he got planned? Exile. No. I don't want anything to be exiled. My exiled creatures go to the graveyard. Thank you very much. With a +1 bonus. Trigger that Death Spark. Good times. Yeah. Good to see some Pauper. We agree. That's why we're here. We are here for you. And Robinson 81. That is what it is all about. All right. Let's bring this up to set. As you can see, our miserable record. Thought this would easily go 4-1 or better. And the Pauper gods smack me across the face. They get that out of here. What are we going to call this here? I won't even. Sometimes I don't even write down the outing number there. Oops. Here we go. All right. Hey, we 1-1. No, I haven't had anything to drink. I just have coffee, but these rounds really do stretch on and on. I get kind of... Yeah, I think this is the third game, right? Help me out here, people. I ain't driving this ship. It's the SS metagame. Ooh, yucky. Go from flood to screw. Mulligan that. Okay, we'll keep that. That's good times. I like seeing double Sparksmiths. Removal on a stick. I'm going to drop this. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, a little fight up above referenced, I think it was episode 2. It's got a lot of good tech in there if you're new to Pauperganda and such. And I would just love to see somebody that doesn't know about Pauperganda, but they're in a Pauper, and they're like, they just stumble across our channel and be like, oh, what's this? I'd just love to see that. Boom. I'm gonna really try to, if he's got removal for this, I might be in trouble because he could drop one of those enchantments and be good, but keep our volume attack for later. Hod says he really likes the Wrath block. Nostalgia might be the reason, though. I hear you. There's a lot of that. That's a valid, very valid reason for liking something, I say. Gonna get rid of Extort. I'm gonna drop some dudes here. You know what? If I make that 3, he's probably gonna trade. Screw it. We want him to. Well, at least play. I'm going to keep 1 back in case we just slow draw here. Oh, Darth Scat says, so I just discovered your stream. Good to know. I'd like to know your first impressions. We're not too good at Twitch yet. Most of our expertise and such is in the movie biz and stuff found on YouTube, but we do what we can. How do I like Delver or Pauper? Let's see. Got back into Magic from Ravnica. Still my favorite. I think Little Fight's with you on that one. He really likes Ravnica, I think. Isn't that how you say it? I butcher a lot of terms. I'm glad I held that one back. My hunch was right. Maybe we can bait a Duress or a not ostracize. What was that spell that we were chatting about with Sam Black? No, Castigate. Knowing that he has that, I'm gonna hold back on that land. Yep, Delver's always a threat, boy. Always got to respect it. That's what I was hoping to run into today, because, no offense, this really eats Delver up. I am 44-9 against Delver with this build, but Death Spark does a lot of that damage. It's one thing I've always geared towards beating. It's one thing I don't like about Drake decks. That I'm one of the few people out there that I think it's not that big of a deal, and it's good for the game at the stage attack, because it's pretty slow and easy to beat if you can focus on it, but it's taken a little bit of the heat off Delver, so it allows for a little bit of a sneaky entrance. Yeah, Mind Blown and the Time Spiral block, Hod's right. The throwbacks, yeah, they still, every once in a while you find those gems in this Time Spiral block. You need that one charm or that card that can do everything that it shouldn't. Like, you know, I've got a, you know, blue deck, I need something killed, or, you know, I need to bring something back from the graveyard and green, and just gotta love that. I don't think we're gonna win this one the way this is looking, folks. Getting cursed again. Alright, let's see. Gotta let me know what Tass was talking about. I don't have quite the time to read about it in Little Fight, but I'd be very curious. I'm gonna block here, and I'm gonna actually let it, I'm gonna make it live. Playing a little defensively here, trying to stay alive. I'm not feeling very comfortable. I'm really worried one of those enchantments drops, and or another land, that would really suck. This is nice though. This is our tech against black. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have brought it in because we haven't seen anything like Shrivel or Evankar's Justice, but when you're playing against Black Rogue, it's a pretty safe bet. Everything from Disfigure and stuff is negated, and if you draw multiples, I only run 2 of them, but then it gets silly. You're able to block Gurmag Anglers with a simple conscript, or you double block and they can still only 1-for-1 you as you take down their 5/5. That's very good times. As you can see here, it's a nice roadblock. I mean, look at the mana cost and what the card says. It's outrageous. Little Fight's got to go. I'll be closing out here. Thanks for moderating and keeping everybody informed, Little Fight. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, buddy, with your deck. Ravnica, says Hodds. Good times. All right. We will go like this. Make them think we're holding something good. 'Cause we're holding a whole bunch of nothing. I was looking at Squirrel Nest the other day, thinking that that's not outside the realm of possibility of being a common in a reprint set. I would say, ooh, boy, we don't like to see that. That represents a pretty quick turn. Dun, dun, dun. Speak of the devil. I take back maybe one bitching rant session about drawing all lands, because that's about the best card we could have drawn right there. This is going to be a close one down to the wire. I am going to be just astonished if Goblins goes. What will it be? 1-4. It's absolutely a first. The worst I think I've ever done is even with it before. Pitch the Bushwhacker. It's got to do it. Well, I would say always good Tassinara regarding decks to play. That's what I've kind of been hit with here. Is boy, do we got it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's just that ability to take down Drake and have defense left over. That's why I think a lot of people favor red. I know that's why I did today. Can't kill the guy with my Sparky, but got enough. Good times. So we go 2 and 3. Apologies. I really thought this would go 4-1 or better. I'll go over the list real quickly here for everybody that maybe joined us late, and then we'll exit with another little video series for you guys. I run 18 basics. Like, anybody's going to want this list, right? After it went that, but this same list, believe me, 5-0s quite a bit in the past, plus or minus 1 or 2 cards. 4-1's almost on a given. I run all 4 Foundry Street because you want that aggro early. 1 Arsonist because of the 2 Matrons. I'm able to fetch it. Sometimes relevant. Usually something you side out. 4 Bushwhackers, no brainer. We're running 8 Cohorts. If anybody's seen our Goblin video on YouTube, you'll know what I mean by that because of the conscripts. And then we're running 8 of these guys, and the same logic being that we have the redundancy here. 4 Lightning Bolts. Really good, especially lately against Drake. Got 3 Sparksmiths. Usually run 4, but because of the Matron. And the Heel Cutters and War Marshal, really MVPs in this deck a lot of times. Sideboard, we were expecting Affinity, and we had it, and we never drew it, and we lost to it. And that would have probably put us even if we had drawn one, but our opponent in round 2 had so many flings, I don't think it would have mattered. We have Martyr of Ashes. My tech, you can easily put in Electricity here. It's just when you're running spells like the conscripts, you kind of want to drop a creature whenever you can, and so I take that organically over the Electricity, because the only thing that we're really worried about isn't so much elves, because we've got so much spot removal, but it's more the Hexproof Persuasion. Pyroblast, another Drake nod, and just great catch-all. Don't even need to mention it. Goblin Caves, I discussed. This is great against Ivankar's Justice, the Caligula-style decks. And then if you want to go long or aggro matchups, especially when you're needing matchups with Sparksmith, you want to bring in the Life Staff. So that being said, everybody, yeah, poor Goblins indeed. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to have a probably Simic Advance for you, a few different takes on it. And we shall see you then. Again, thanks so much for joining us. Got any questions, comments, blah, 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 send them to pauperganda@gmail.com. We spread the word. Let's get this format noticed. Not about us. It's about the format. Let's just get it noticed, man. Get it out there to where maybe people like the Professor. I know Manosaurus mentioned us in a tweet. We have no Twitter presence, so if you're there, please yell loud and proud and get more people out there, whether it's this or on YouTube or whatnot, and let's get this thing noticed. But for now, we will see you tomorrow, guys, and we're out.
It's the liquor of ages, the tonic of conquerors. Find your spark. Gin and tonic, making men into giants since 1857.
Clogged pipes and plugged up toilets can bring a busy family to its knees. At Stinkweed, we know and understand you and your family just don't have time for that. Stinkweed, fast, professional plumbing you can count on. Call 2 in a black, DREDGE5. That's 2 in a black, DREDGE5.
I was brought to my knees when Stinkweed dredged my pipes.
Deluxe Cough's Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. Blows colored bubbles. Changes colors while you chew. Discard your old brand for something new.
The Lexicos Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. It's yummy.
The Marilagia. If you are going to drink like a wizard, then you must release the beast.
Marit Lager. Crack the ice and release your beast. Available at all fine Sinclair superstores.
Worm would like to remind you to drink responsibly.